So about 7 years ago, when I was with my agent, one of the traditional publishers came to her and asked for IP projects, which is where they kind of give you a prompt and then you sort of make up a story within the parameters that they've set. So I came up with my very first dragon shifter romance. And I submitted it. I was pretty excited. I was calling it Rat Dragons because the person that the main character falls for is like this tiny, small subspecies of dragon that always gets pushed around. And I was pretty excited to write it. The publisher had no interest. They did not think Rat Dragons sounded good. And then I was talking to a good friend of mine a couple of years later, and I told her I was planning on writing it still. And she said, everything, I pitched the whole idea, the plot, the story, and she said, that all sounds awesome, but you absolutely, number one, cannot call it Rat Dragons. No one wants to read that. And she said, number two, the main love interest cannot be a tiny dinky dragon. He has to be the big, bad, awful, scary dragon. It has to be. He could have his powers taken away temporarily. He could have a bunch of other problems. I don't care, but he cannot be a tiny, powerless dragon. The love interest has to be horrifying and scary and terrible. And so I thought on that for a while. And I didn't write this dragon book that has been plotted and sitting for forever. And a couple of months ago, while I was trying to write my women's fiction, my contemporary romance women's fiction, I had this dragon shifter book kept talking in my ear. And the love interest wanted to be a big bad dragon suddenly. And so I was like, okay, maybe I am inspired. Maybe I will write it. And now that book is written. I'm doing final pass edits and it's up on pre-order. It says it'll be out in November, but it is not going to be out in November. It is going to be out much sooner, probably in about a week. So if you like dragon shifters, you ought to check out Ensnared by Bridget E Baker. I think it will knock your scaly socks off.